Today I want to talk about method selling, selling to the big guys. I'm watching this biography the other day on Ron Howard. You know Ron Howard, Opie on the Andy Griffith Show. What a fascinating life. His parents were in the theater and film, so Ron was exposed to acting early on. In fact, he got his first screen appearance at the tender age of 18 months. Yes, 18 months. The film his mother was in required a baby in the scene. In fact, it required a crying baby. The way Ron describes it, he was given a toy tomahawk to hold just long enough for him to get used to it. When the scene began filming, what they decided to do was take away the tomahawk, and guess what? He began crying. His first major role in a film was a major success. In the biography, Andy Taylor describes how impressed he was with Ron's acting as a child. He described this one where Opie was going to have to cry on scene after having killed a bird with his slingshot. They then show the actual scene from the series. As I watched it, it was obvious that Ron's pain and crying was genuine. Andy was impressed and later asked Ron how he was able to cry on cue. Ron responded by telling Andy that when the moment came to cry, he thought about his dog who had died. Andy concluded the interview on the biography by saying, whether he knew it or not, that boy was method acting. Now, what does this have to do with selling? Everything. Method acting is the ability to empathize with the character. Not sympathize. I mean empathize. Sympathy means you understand their pain. Empathy means you feel their pain. There is a big difference, folks. Customers don't want to talk to salespeople who understand what they're going through. They want to work with people who not only know what they're going through, but also feel what they're going through. They want to work with salespeople who really understand the difficulties they face in building their business, but I really feel their pain. They want you to feel their sense of urgency. They want you to understand what they're going through. They want you to feel how much is at stake when they have to make a high-risk buying decision. As salespeople, we can't pretend to understand what our customers are dealing with in order to grow their business. Showing a customer that you not only understand their pain, but feel it as well, requires you to put yourself in their shoes. In order to sell empathetically, you must become them for a moment. For one scene, Ron Howard was able to transport himself to another time and place himself in a situation where he felt real pain when he lost his dog. In business, you have to take that same moment and time to transport yourself pretty much in the same position that the customer is in. What are they feeling? What are they going through? What are they thinking about? Now, many of you who sell to the top levels of the business world are probably wondering, well, that's easier said than done. The fact is that when I've never been a CEO or a CTO of a major company or whatever, I can't relate to them. Right? Wrong. You can relate to them. Answer these questions. Do you have to worry about making money? Do big, high-risk decisions scare you? Have you been burned in the past when you bought something? Do others depend on your strength at times? Are decisions sometimes overwhelming when there's a lot going on? Do you wish someone could show you a way to do things cheaper or faster without sacrificing quality? If you answered yes to most of these questions, you can understand and empathize with what the top decision makers who deal with similar issues are dealing with on a daily basis. The next time you have a high-level meeting and are feeling intimidated, I want you to remember that the person sitting across the table from you has problems that they need resolved, and they're looking to you to provide a solution. Method selling is much like method acting. Put yourself in their shoes. As you're talking to the person, get in character with them. Conjure up in your mind what it would be like to be that person and have those responsibilities. Think about how they might be thinking. Think of your own problems in the past. Your answers to the top level person's questions or concerns should address some of the questions I've listed above. Remember, their job is to increase revenue and shareholder value, i.e., make money for the company, and never lose sight of that obvious fact. As a salesperson, your job is to help, not hinder. Show these top-level executives that you have thought about their problem and have come there to present them with a solution. Lastly, keep in mind that sometimes you have to show these top executives the painful reality of not making the necessary changes by buying your product or service. You must show them also what's going to cost them to do nothing, because the cost of inaction is always great. You must make them feel the pain of mediocrity and holding on to the status quo. But you will only be able to do this and be believable at it if 1. You've put yourself in their position, 2. You thought of ways to help them, and 3. Have some facts and figures to prove what it is you say you can do. How do you get them to feel the pain? Well, when the directors wanted 18-month-old Opie to cry, what did they do? They took away a tomahawk he had grown used to holding on to get these top-level executives in character so they can feel the pain. Part of your job is to show them what will happen if they don't stay current with what changes are occurring in the market. Take away their tomahawk. In other words, take away their object of security by demonstrating what their competitors are doing and how much business and market share they're losing if they continue to not act. Have statistics and market figures to show them so they can understand the reality of competition. Whatever it takes to make them feel the pain, do it. And if you do this well, you might even make one of them cry on cue.